Hello, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to add a fill-in flash effect to your portraits. Now this picture was taken in the late afternoon, so the light was quite low, and it was also shot with the sun just out of frame, which has led to that really bright and burnt out background. So what we're going to do is a series of adjustments just to lighten up the face and take it out of the shadow, and also just to take back a few of those highlights and really give it the look that it's been shot with a fill-in flash. After we've made all of our adjustments, we'll end up with a picture just like this. And here we can see that real nice warmth of the late afternoon. We've just dulled down a few of those highlights and really given the impression that it was shot with fill-in flash. So we'll get straight into it. Open up our lighting01.dng, and as we do that, that should automatically open in Adobe Camera Raw. The first thing we normally do is to set the white balance, but because we want to keep that nice warm hue, what we're going to do is actually just go straight in and adjust the temperature slider. We're going to increase that to about +12 just to warm up the image slightly. So if you have a look at it before and after, and you can really just see that warmth coming into the picture. Now just make sure that your highlight clippings are on, and those are displayed over the image just by this red mask. If yours aren't on, then just hit O on your keyboard to switch them on, or you can click the small triangle in the top right hand corner of the histogram. With that done, we can now start to reduce those highlights. So first thing we do is just to increase the recovery, and as we do that we can start to see that highlight clipping recede. And if we take that up to about +75, and then just to really reduce it on the hair there, we're just going to reduce the exposure slightly to about -0.25. Now that we've done that, and just to bring a little bit more contrast into the picture, we're just going to increase the clarity slider up to about +50, and that's a little bit less intrusive than using the contrast slider. So once we're happy with our basic raw adjustments, all we need to do now is just click Open Image. So we now have our initially adjusted picture, and now we can start to take a look at how to apply the fill-in flash lighting effects. So the first thing to do is just to drag and drop the background layer onto the new layer icon, and that'll instantly display the background copy layer, and we'll go straight into applying that fill-in flash. So if we go to Filter, down to Render and Lighting Effects, and this will bring up the Lighting Effects dialog window. Now the lighting effect that we want is going to be an omnidirectional light, and we want that to be pretty much central to the face. So I'm going to move that just to the left hand side of her nose, and we can just see how that's brightening up the face instantly. And then around the preview of the lighting area we can see 4 anchor points, and what we want to do is just increase that just so that it touches the edge of the frame. And as we can see, it's burning the image out quite a bit at the moment. So once you have adjusted the lighting to the correct scale, we now want to just decrease the intensity of that light. So the first thing we want to do is reduce the intensity down to about 18. And we see that definition in the face come back, and we've just increased the gloss to about 24. You see again it's just lightening up, and then finally we want to take the ambience just up a couple of notches to about 10. So if you just look at before and after, and you can just see how it's lightened up the face, it's just darkening down the background a little bit. So click OK to apply our lighting effects. We can just see before and after, and we can see how that fill-in flash lighting effect is starting to work. Obviously at the moment it's all looking a little bit flat, so the next step is just to really increase those shadows and the contrast within the picture. So if we go up to our adjustment layers, select levels, and as we can see here from the area of the histogram, we see there's very little information there in the shadows. So I'm just going to take our shadow slider right up and clip into those shadows a bit and take them up to about 44. Now I'm quite happy with the effect of that, so just click OK to apply. Now if the picture is losing a bit of its yellow hue, this is actually looking okay, but we can add back that warmth into the picture by just using a photo filter. So if we go back up to our adjustment layers, down to photo filter, and under the use and filter, we're going to swap the warming filter 85 to a warming filter 81. Leave its density at about 25 and preserve its luminosity. Just click OK to apply that to the image. If I just click that off and on again, and you'll just see that little bit more warmth come into the background and a little bit in her hair as well. So now we're pretty much finished, and the last step is just to sharpen up the detail within the shot. So making sure that the top photo filter layer is selected, hold down Shift on your keyboard and click the background copy layer. Then up in the layer palette options, just select merge layers, and that'll merge those three layers down into one. And now we can do a bit of sharpening. So if we go to enhance, down to adjust sharpness, just make sure that your preview is set to 100%, and we want to take the amount up to about 70 and our radius to about 1.8. And you just see how that sharpens up the detail of the eye. So before and after, make sure you've got more refined ticked and just click OK to apply that. Now if we look at the before and after, and you can really see how that's increased the contrast, and it's got that fill-in flash look and really improved the quality of the portrait.